before I jump into episode 43, I just want to let you know there is a warning, like a trigger warning for abduction, because it's like going to be brought up in this episode. I will let you know if there's a trigger warning for 44, but just take caution. So yeah, gonna jump straight into it, and it's called Hostage. Are you still wondering if I'm gonna kill you? I'm really not, even if you deserve it. Just what the hell do you want from me? Is that the way to speak to your benefactor? A bitter laugh rose in my throat. Benefactor? Well, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have known the truth about your parents, or the inheritance waiting for you. A suspicion started growing in me. He wants the money. My inheritance. And how did you pay me back? You double-crossed me. Sold me out to the CIA. Oh. Luckily for you, I know just how you can pay me back. And I'm not going to slaughter the goose that's going to lay me my golden egg. You want my inheritance? Well, yes. How else are you going to pay me back what you cost me? But I'm only 18. I can't touch my trust fund until I'm 21. Guess I'll just have to keep you for the next 3 years then. You're crazy. My mind reeled as what he planned to do sank in fully. Again, I can't speak. I felt like vomiting again. You can't hold me hostage for 3 years. Hostage is such an aggressive word. I prefer guest. And who knows? Maybe you might even like it. Don't touch me. Oh. Seeing nothing, barely able to breathe, somebody tapped my hands roughly behind, taped my hands roughly behind my back. I was pushed along, made to walk a little way, and then shoved into the back seat of a vehicle. Nausea overwhelmed me again, and I took short breaths to try and quell the urge to vomit. A few tears escaped me, but I tried to keep my anxiety from overwhelming me. Instead, I tried to focus on what was happening, to take note of any details that might indicate where I was being taken to. At least she's smart, or might help me later on. We drove for about 20 minutes. How do you know it's 20 minutes? I'm, not great at, time, perception, I guess. I would not know if it's been 20 minutes or, an hour. No clue. But it could have been longer or shorter. It was hard to be sure of time. Being blinded did funny things to you. But we stopped and I was I'm sorry. I do not know this word. That's so bad. I was unceremoniously, got it, pushed out the vehicle. Somebody immediately grabbed my arm and pulled me to walk. A sudden change in temperature and sound made me realise we had entered the building. And then I was pushed into an elevator and we started going up, high up. I was made to walk a bit more, then the sound of the door closing behind me. It must be an apartment. I was pulled up some stairs and then I was shoved so hard that I fell on my knees. Oh wow. I mean, at least kind of a cute room. An attic? I'd been locked in an attic in an apartment. It looks like some residential area. I didn't recognise any of the buildings or landmarks. Yeah, they're not the window. No. The window was not one which could be opened. Well, of course it's not. They're not going to be you know what, you can have a normal window that you can, jump out of, call for help, anything like that. The room was bare except for a bed. I mean, that's all you really need. Despair finally overwhelmed me and I sank onto my knees. I was a prisoner, hostage for the next 3 years, when he would force me to hand over my inheritance to him. And what did he mean by, you might even like it? Bile rose in my throat. Luckily there was an adjoining bathroom and toilet. I barely made it to the toilet in time before throwing up the little that I'd eaten. She slept with her shoes on. Her shoes are on. Unfortunately, you're not going anywhere, so why? It had been 2 days since I was first put into this room. During this time, I hadn't been allowed once outside. Three times a day the door opened and Rad's goon brought food and water and took away the earlier plate. I had no appetite but made myself eat for the sake of the baby. The baby. Those tear droplets though. Rad had no idea that I was pregnant. Something told me that it would be a bad idea to let him find out. I had no link to the outside world at all. No phone, no TV, so I couldn't even check the news. I wondered what Oliver was doing, how angry he must be at me. Was he trying to find me? I cried every time I thought about him. Oh, I thought that was going to be like Oliver's point of view. The goons brought me food and water 3 times a day, but Rad himself never showed up. I wondered if this is how he intended to keep me for the next 3 years. Oh. I would probably go mad fast. Death would be a mercy. But I couldn't allow my thoughts to go that way, not when there's a little life growing inside me. The only part of Oliver that was still with me. Thank God, or Rad, a little bitter laugh rose in me for the adjoining bathroom. At least I could take a shower every day. Although I had to change back into the same clothes every day, it was getting ridiculous. Oh my God, imagine like underwear. Like, surely you can turn it inside out, maybe. I mean, she could wash it in the bathroom, leave it to dry, and just not wear underwear. Surely he was going to get me more clothes. I mean, I don't think it's a priority for him, really. I don't know why it was called morning sickness. I felt... I'm so sorry. I felt nauseous frequently throughout the day. I discovered that eating something usually helped to curb the nausea, though. Sometimes I thought about trying to escape when one of his men came to bring me food and water. Oh my gosh, she got 20 chicken nuggets. She got McDonald's. I want McDonald's. No, but I knew that they were armed, and sometimes glimpsed the gun that they carried upholstered to their hips. I might have attempted something, tried to use one of the techniques that Christian had taught me, but I couldn't afford to be reckless. Not now that I was pregnant. I'd already lost my freedom, lost Oliver. I would not lose a baby too. I would wait for now. I would only use what I've learned in an absolute emergency. I think that's the best way to go, because even though she knows the techniques, it could go horribly wrong. Like, there's a risk to trying, and I get in some situations it's better to take the risk when you're in this kind of situation, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it'll just be better to kind of wait, because it's a bad situation, but it's not the worst situation of what could be, if that makes sense. I had more than my own life to think about now. It had been 5 days since I'd been locked in this room. The room felt like it was becoming smaller and smaller every day. I was starting to despair. Take a shower and get dressed in this. Boss wants to see you in 30 minutes. Damn. What is she wearing? Oh, a fancy outfit. Would you... No, I don't want to. I don't want to change what I'm... They make me wear the same clothes for 5 days, and now suddenly I have to wear a dress. My stomach knotted up in anxiety as my mind raced. What was Rad planning now? Come on, girlie, time to go. Okay, well, that's that chapter. Chapter 44, Trapped. She's here like you wanted, boss. You may leave us now. Wait, oh, his hair is down? His hair is down. Oh, wow. Champagne? What game are you playing now? You locked me up for 5 days and now you're offering me champagne. No thanks. As you wish, have a seat. Was she okay? I hope you haven't been too uncomfortable these past few days. Fantastic, like staying at the Four Seasons. As feisty as always. Why? Why? Why are you hoping a few days of solitary confinement might have broken me? Should we try a month? girl just... I felt my confident act crack and slip as his threat of locking me in that room for another month hit me. He smiled then at how he had broken my tough act that easily. I knew that dress would look nice on you. Aren't you afraid that I'm going to lock you in that room for the next 3 years? I'm not a monster, you know. I'm a businessman. I don't want to have to treat you badly. Here's the deal. If you promise to behave, you don't have to stay in that room. What do you mean by behave? Well, no trying to run away for starters, or trying to call the police, or anyone else, obviously. If you agree to be reasonable, I'll let you have the run of the house. Would he really do that? Under supervision, of course. But why would he even take the risk or let me out the attic? Why would he try and be nice to me? Was it an attempt to make me hate him less? Feel gratitude? Did he think that would make me cooperate and give him all my inheritance? Although I would have given him everything right that moment if I could. If only he would let me go and leave me alone. I was thinking, isn't there a way I could transfer my trust fund to you right now? Perhaps we could have some kind of document written up. We could try, but the chances of being able to execute a document like that are unlikely. A judge would probably declare it not legally binding. Jesus, Rod, you can't keep me for 3 years. That's exactly what is going to happen. Now it's up to you as how you're going to spend those 3 years. You can spend them locked up in the attic, or you can cooperate, be pleasant, and live in comfort as my guest in this apartment. What I would do, I would take the second offer, like behave, like kind of play the long game, and then like make a plan to like escape somehow. Like, you have to like play it for like a few months at least, and then maybe like a year, I would say. But then she's pregnant, so like she didn't have like long. But that's what I would do. It's entirely up to you. I thought quickly. Being outside the room would give me infinitely... Why can I not say words? More chances of finding a way to escape. I can do that. Okay. She got it. Can you really? I'll do anything as long as you don't put me back in that room. He stared at me for a while, not speaking, as if trying to tell me if I would be obedient. Good choice. You were always a smart girl. He came closer to me on the couch until I could feel his breath on my cheek, and you might even find yourself enjoying my company. He reached out to stroke my neck with one finger. Excuse you. It took every single ounce in me not to flinch or shudder. Are you going to be staying here as well? Why? Are you hoping that I do? That might be interesting, but no. You know, that colour really suits you. He laughed quietly. It was obvious that he was enjoying himself, toying with me. I felt like a fun new toy being battered around by a cat. Are you missing your little boyfriend? I dug my fingers into my arms to contain the urge to hit him. I think you'll find that a real man is more exciting. Take off the dress. I'm sorry, what? No, go screw yourself. It will be so fun to break you. Pity to have a plane to catch. We'll continue this next time. Jessie. Who the fuck is Jessie? Oh, show her to her room. And he strode out the room without another word. Come on now. Oh, did she upgrade? Boss got you some clothes in the closet. Wait, what? Are you gonna lock the door? Yeah. What? Then what is the difference between this room or the attic? For us, I don't have to be locked up like a prison anymore. You can go out anytime. You just have to press that door. You're just gonna press that button beside the door and someone will come and open it. But why? Boss's orders. You're to be monitored when you're outside of this room. So I have to be babysat? Maybe try earning his trust and we won't have to babysit you. Although that might take a while since you ratted him out to the feds. I mean, I know it's still like the same concept, but like, it's a bigger room. You have basically full ass window, door things. Like, it's, you know, it's better of a bad situation. He slammed the door behind him as I heard the sound of a key turning in the lock. I was locked in again. Like, why does she think it's going to be that easy? I needed a plan. A plan to get out of it. First of all, I had to find out where this place was. I didn't recognise any of the buildings outside, and we were all too high up for me to make out any of the street signs. But we hadn't driven that far, so we shouldn't be too far from the Bronx. Sorry. Maybe we're still in the Bronx. Raj may rent or even own this place, but he didn't live here. That much he had confirmed. It was understandable that he wouldn't keep me hostage in his own primary residence. From the things that he said today, however, it was obvious that he intended to drop by every so often. I realised that it was useless to escape this place if he wasn't arrested. I would just constantly be on the run and in hiding, and he would stop at nothing to flush me out, exactly like he did before. The only way to be free of him forever would be for him to be apprehended. I was gonna be like, dead. If only I could find out where I was and somehow manage to contact C. She could put this place under surveillance until he came back again, and I had to do it fast. So step 1 of the plan, find out where I was. Step 2, contact C. And final step, stay put until he came back. Okay, well, that's that chapter. I guess we'll see what happens with the plan. See if Lulu can find out where she is, which is going to be difficult AF, but that'll be interesting, and like 5 episodes till the end, so that's good fun. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.